Hello my amiable students. In this module, we are going to be looking at interpretation of climate data. Before demarcating the climatic belts or before predicting weather and climate, we have to collect, analyze, and generalize data that has been collected or imputed from different climatic or weather bureaus. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at how they are being collected and calculated over time, looking at the different variables in weather data, like daily weather record, weekly weather records, monthly weather records, and annual weather records, whether they are calculated in range, mean, or total form. Climate data is the computed input from the various weather and climate elements in a given station, which help us to predict weather and make informed decisions concerning weather and climate in a particular country or globally. These climatic elements can be rainfall, temperature, relative humidity, winds, insolation, and atmospheric air pressure. These data are collected on daily, monthly, and annual basis. Mathematically, they can be collected in the form of range, average, mean, total, etc. Thus, taking an example from temperatures, we have daily or diurnal range of temperature, mean daily temperature, etc., as well as monthly temperatures on different levels. So we have mean monthly temperature, monthly range of temperature, and others. On annual basis, we have annual range of temperature, mean annual temperature, and total temperature. So mathematically, diurnal range records are taken by deducting the daily maximum of that element from the minimum daily record of that element, whether rainfall, temperature, or relative humidity. Annual range is deducting the maximum of the highest month of that element from the lowest of that element in a given month in that particular year. So when we say annual range of temperature, we mean that temperature of the hottest month from a given year is deducted from the lowest month in that given year. While monthly range of temperature is the hottest in that month from the coldest in that particular month. Talking about mean of elements, annual mean will be the sum total of that element divided by 12 because we have 12 months in a given year. Mean monthly record are gotten by the sum of all daily records divided by the number of days in that particular month, because some months ends in 29 like February. Then we have 31 and 30. Mean daily will be maximum of that particular day or the hour of that particular day plus the minimum of that particular day. Total records are taken by computing all the days in a particular month and all the hours of that day and all the months in a particular year to get annual total record. The sum total of 24 hours is taken for a day, and they are collected to make informed decisions that will give us for the month, year, and others. Looking closely at the record on screen, you might be asking any exam to explain or calculate any of these records. But there are some other questions that might be taken or that might arise without calculation using the weather chart. But there are ways you can deduce the answers. Let's look at some of the tricks that can be used. If maximum temperature exceeds 25 or 30 degrees Celsius, that particular area or station is equatorial or Sudan or desert, monsoon in the tropical climates. If maximum temperature exceeds 12 or 25 degrees Celsius, its warmest temperature in that form will now give us Mediterranean climate. If the temperature is within 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, that means that place is a cool temperate climate. If most of its temperature fall below freezing point, it is either subarctic or polar type of climate. For rainfall, if all its rainfall is all year round, that means it's equatorial if it has heavy rainfall all year round followed by heavy temperature all year round. Then, if the highest temperature or summer temperatures is highest in June, July and August, that means that is a northern hemisphere dry country. This information will help us to get more insight into the stations that we are dealing with in that exam. So looking at Moscow, for example, we see that total monthly rainfall for June was 51, while its annual range of rainfall by deducting 23 from 74, which will give us 51. While the coldest month was January, which has -11. So it is in the northern hemisphere as its summer temperatures were the highest, while its winter shows low degrees of temperature in December to February. Sources of climatic data are from charts, observations, and readings from the various weather instruments that are in the field or from weather bureau or institutionalized bureaus like NASA.
A weather instrument that you probably have in your home is a thermometer. Thermometers measure heat. They tell us how warm or cold the air is. When you read the number on a thermometer, you are reading the air temperature. High temperatures mean the air is warm, and low temperatures mean the air is cold. Sometimes when you are riding down the street, you'll see a big thermometer in front of banks and other buildings. When we take weather measurements, we also need to know how much air is on top of us. We don't feel air unless it's moving, but air is strong and sometimes heavy. Look at this. Air is strong enough to hold you on top of a balloon. To measure how strong the air is, we use an instrument called a barometer. When the barometer shows a lower number, we say the air pressure is low. Low pressure comes along with cloudy weather and sometimes stormy weather. When the barometer shows a higher number, then the air pressure is high. High pressure brings clear skies and usually dry weather. You can see this instrument on top of houses and barns. It's a wind vane. When the air moves across the wind vane, it makes the wind vane point into the wind. That way we know where the wind is coming from. The wind vanes that meteorologists use look more like this. You can make your own wind vane using cardboard, scissors, tape, a sewing pin, a pencil, and a straw. Cut out the cardboard into the shape of a small rectangle. Then cut a triangle out of the rectangle, as you see right here. Tape the triangle to one end of the straw and tape the other piece of cardboard to the other end. Now stick the pin through the middle of the straw so that it is flat with the pieces of cardboard. Now stick the pin and straw into the eraser on the pencil. You've just made a wind vane. When the wind blows, the wind vane will show you where it is coming from.
Now which way is the wind coming from?
Meteorologists measure how strong the wind is with an instrument that spins, called an anemometer. The stronger the wind is, the faster the anemometer spins. Wind is important to know because it pushes weather around the earth. Winds come from four main directions, but you need another tool to know what the directions are. That tool is called a compass. A compass is an instrument that shows which way is north, south, east, and west. Once a meteorologist knows where the wind is coming from, he or she can know if it will be a wet wind, dry wind, cold wind, or warm wind. Learn which way is north, south, east, and west where you live. The directions always stay the same. It helps to remember that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Did you know that even when the weather is dry, there's invisible water in the air? It's called humidity. Humidity is a way to tell how much water or moisture is floating around us in the air. The instrument used to measure humidity is called a hygrometer. A low number on a hygrometer means the air is dry. That's what you find in a desert. When hygrometers show high numbers, we say the air is humid, and that means that clouds might form to make rain. And piles up, you can measure it with a ruler, but to measure rain, you have to catch it in something first. A jar will work fine, but meteorologists use a rain gauge. A rain gauge is a tube that has numbers on the side to show you how much rain fell. Clouds are easy to see with our eyes, but we only see a small part of the sky. Meteorologists use weather satellites to look down on Earth to show the clouds all over. Once you know where you are on Earth, you can see the clouds that are moving your way. Some clouds make rain or snow, and we need to know that so we can dress properly. When there is rain or snow, we use a tool called a radar to know where the rain or snow is falling. Radars show precipitation as it falls to the ground. When snow falls and piles up, you can measure it with a ruler, but to measure rain, you have to catch it in something first.
Climatic data are important as it helps us to make informed decisions concerning climate change, agriculture, weather forecasts, and other weather control or flood control. They can also help us in the various areas of environmental interaction, disease control, and many others. I enjoin you to watch the video, read the content page before attempting the quizzes.